kuna time I used to be told, yo niaje, enda kwa therapist, or nini. I'm like, why the fuck am I going to these people? Mimi najua shida yangu, this is my problem. Vile umesema, men like solutions. I want a solution, and I get. And the people who are telling me niende kwa therapist was mainly my mother and my sisters. Yo, go to the therapist. I was like, dude, mimi history yangu, I know the root cause of my problem. I know this is, wacheni kuniambia niende kwa therapist. Fuck that therapist. Hata sitaki kwa hiyo kitu ndo nimechukia mpaka leo. And I'll tell you what.
So this is shade towards me.
Technically, yeah, by the way.
It's okay.
The thing is, the reason mbona nimechukia here industry ya therapy is because of the perception. Si nyinyi, shida si nyinyi. It's the perception that you go out there, that the fact that ukienda ukae chini, you just talk your problems out. Oh, it's okay to talk your problems out. Sijika, fanya hivi, talk. Nah, fam. Unaget. And then the point is, you're talking to someone mwenye atatu kusikia story, and then atakuja kuambia, okay, what I see the solution is, you have been going through this for a very long time, and the purpose is you should start healing. You understand?
No, let me tell you one thing. One of the misconceptions that's out there about therapy. First things first, we therapists don't advise. We don't tell you go out there and do XYZ. That is actually very unethical. We don't do that. That is the first misconception that I want to clear out. What happens with therapy is solutions are always with you. Let me give you an example. Think of it as a tangled rope, ball of rope.
Okay.
Unaona venye paka yucheza na uzi, and then inakuwa tangled and everything.
Yep.
You have that tangled ball of, uzis or ropes, right? So what we therapists do is help you untangle that. We're not bringing in new ropes. We're not cutting the rope. We're not adding anything into that ball. We're just helping you align those ropes. So majority of the time you'll realize the solutions are always with you. So what we do, we lay the options that you have out there, right? And then let you play it out. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
So what we're doing is we're helping you untangle whatever tangled ropes you have up there. Think of it this way. It's as a math. I like using literal examples. Think of it as a math problem. When you have an algebra problem, what you do is you solve it by writing it down, working it out, and everything. And that's what we do with you. You come to us with an algebra problem, and we find solutions together. But at the end of it all, we won't tell you end of an even. It's very unethical.
Okay, gotcha. So it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. But again, vile nimesema, possibly it's the perceptions of people out there. And again, unaona, this is a parent anakuja kiniambia enda therapy. Mimi namwambia cheki, I know where the problem is. In fact, when this therapist alikuwa aniongelesha, I used to go back to, can we just fucking look for a solution? Hapo ndo pale nimefika, in the situation niko, this is the environment. If you're going to talk, nishaongea shida zangu for, what's it called? I don't know, for the last 45. His session and for 2 hours, it's 5,000 bob. It's expensive as well. When I get therapy, is not cheap.
True.
You see?
Now, let me ask you, are you open for us to try India's therapy?
Right now? It depends on which skill though. Singependa kujiweka out there.
Okay, yeah, there's that. But what I wanted to do is just like 5 minutes to give you a feel of how it is. You see, there you're saying you want solutions. We can run hypothetically.
Okay, let's go.
Give me an issue that you feel like you have and you want a solution to it. Hypothetically, of course.
Okay.
You can even say a friend of a friend is...
No. I'll just give you straight up. There's so many, but kuna moja nataka kupick what. Yeah, relax. Don't put me under pressure. Relax.
Okay.
So, wacha tuangalie. Kuna venye mi upush watu. Ama mi utend kupush watu. Unaget, especially my friends who are around me. Kuna venye I feel wao wanachukulianga life very easily like yo Nas chill out. Mnaambia man lazima tupushi kitu. Later on I was told kila mtu akona bubble yake. Vile mimi ndakuwa nimefigure out something is not the same. And then a normal person atapush best yake. Best yake akata kusikia ataiwata. I will get pissed off about it. You get it? I will get pissed off about it. Ndaanza kumkasirikia and possibly chunks of hate zitaanza tu kukua hapo. Like I will start shitting on this person. Like this guy is fucking lazy. This is what I've done. This is kind of opportunities nimemwambia come through. Haja come through. And eventually itaanza tu kuform like a beef. And one way or another. Which saizi imeanza kudie down the moment nilipatiwa an edge of reason that hawa watu wako in their own bubble. Hiyo bubble yako ile kitu unaona. Because technically I've been in spaces they haven't. So mimi nikirudi nikiwaambia my guys, this is where I was today. This is what people are doing outside there. This is at the opportunities ziko hapo. So one way of looking at it is mimi nimeona hizo. Wow, hawajaona. So to them it's like fairy tales bado. You see? So that's one point of tunaweza ongea hiyo hypothesis ni kitu iko. The fact that I don't know, I just expect so much better from the people who are around me. Ama vile mi wa push so much that by then by the hii kitu I really expect you to push because mimi najua value yako. You see? Hii ndo space nimekuweka, hii ndo link, go. Nione umefall short of that, boss, me I get mad.
So you get mad at the person for not following through what you've...
I get mad at the person, I get mad at myself for wasting time. I get, like, there's a lot.
Okay.
Because even kuna time I'm like, Nasir, you dumb guy. Nini lifanyani ujama kama huyu mpeleke kwa mtu kama huyu kumsaki opportunity. You know the guy is an idiot. Unaona? Scenario kama hiyo.
So scenario kama hiyo, when we were having this conversation, you said you know where the issue is. So in this case, do you know where the problem is? Or it's something that you're not sure where the problem is?
I could know where the problem is. The problem lies with probably their mindset ama their schedule ama kila kitu, sindio? But I've tried kuweka everything into play. Nimesema okay, sawa. Kama ni fair, we can work around that. Sawa, here's the thing. Kama ni mindset yako, fine. Tunaanza pole pole.
But now, sorry for cutting you short. Instead of playing with the mindset of the third party, I want you to focus on you. Why do you find an issue with them not following through? So it's not a matter of what, hawana time, ama mindset yao, wewe, personally.
Okay, it's because of the fact that I relate with their pain so much. I relate with their pain. I'm like, my guys, I know you have been suffering for long. So, here is our ticket out. Unaget, tutoke kwa block.
Now, when it comes to such things, especially anger triggering issues, or hizo vitu zenye zi trigger anger ama irritability, there's something called an iceberg, an anger iceberg. The anger you see huku is just the anger, but there's always something feeding that anger. And majority of the time, we never really understand or pay attention to whatever it is that's feeding that anger.
Now I get you. Now nacheki boli kiantangulio.
Yes.
Let's not try to send them mbali. Hold up.
Tuache hiyo story.
No. Seriously tuache. Let me continue because sasa get here anger point. Let me tell you where here iceberg inatoka. Because umesema it's just the tip and then hii ingine iko chini ya maji.
There's something that's feeding the iceberg, yeah.
Okay. Now I get it because this is why I like conversations. So, haya, this ex-person nimesikia kitukana na watu wengi. Oh, you're fucking lazy, you'll never make it in life, whatever. And now he is part of me. You get it? Nikiangalia kwa sakuli yangu, the people I make friends with, it's like lazima ikue beneficial one way or another, in the sense that it's nikitembea na wewe hauchafui image yangu. You get? In the sense that Nasira, hule si jambazi Nasira anatembea naye. Hule si malaya Nasira anatembea naye. You see? Like how one thing you're not shorting my image to the public. Hauchafui image yangu. The second is you have to influence me in a positive way. You have to push me the same way I'm pushing you. And I get. And the third is, bro, we fucking have to be elite. Like sisi si watu ordinary. We have the talent, we have everything. Si ati tuna maringo, but hatufai kuko hapa. You understand? Nimeona zile bullshit tumepitia, nimeona wale watu wametu gatekeep. And if you cannot see all this, ama you cannot see msia akikudisa ama nini, because this particular person naongelelea, I think nimekuwa na beef na 2 more people just because of him. Like, oh, X and X is lazy. Na fam, huo jamaa si lazy, you just don't understand his issue. Shida ni wewe. And for that reason, fuck off. Hata stai kuongea na. You understand?
I understand you.
So the point is, I think vile umeanza kuantangle ukaniambia there's so much. It's because personally I feel like I'm attached to these people, and it's because of the history. Yo, tumesafana, tumetoka high school pamoja. I feel the need kuwatoa out of the trenches. It's like a savior mentality.
I wanted to say the same thing. No, in that whole story, pair, in everything you've said, personally, Kwanza, let me start from there. Let me give you a disclaimer. I'm not the type of therapist that babies, I give it to you as it is.
Thank you.
So
Let's
just
go. Tell me I'm a bitch.
Nice. I'm not telling you you're a bitch. But what I'm trying to say is, in that whole situation, everything I've heard is me. I've not heard you talk like a legit reason from that person's perspective. It's all about how other people will see you when you're interacting with them. It's all about how you take it. It's you. I don't know if that makes sense. So if I was your therapist, I would remove everyone else and remain with you. 1, self-identity. You know, how do you see yourself? What are your values? Because when it comes to friendships, like you've said, I normally tell people this a lot of times, all friendships are transactional. It's not a matter of what you're getting out of it. So when you look at values, when you look at you personally as how you see yourself, you can't see yourself without attaching values to it. So anytime anyone comes short of your values, then that becomes a you problem. You forget that other people also have their own personal values. Another thing that I'll also mention is, I say this a lot, expectations are the mother of disappointment. The minute you have certain expectations towards people and they don't meet your expectations, high chances you will be disappointed, right? And at times we have unspoken expectations towards people that we've not even communicated with them. So wherever this person is, they don't know you expect this from them, you know? But you personally expect that. So they don't end up meeting whatever it is that you're expecting. So at the end of it all, you get disappointed. And disappointment also breeds resentment. I don't know if that makes sense. So you realize in this whole bubble, it's more about you as opposed to the third party. And that's why you find it won't just be this one person A. Person B too can trigger the same issues that person A is triggering. Person C can also trigger the same thing that person A and B are triggering. So the common denominator here is you, not these other people. So when it comes to now actual therapy, I would remove everyone else and be left with you. Your values, perceptions, self-esteem, qualities, what you consider as, you know, your qualities, strong, everything, all that, to look into your personality so that you can fix that. Because at the end of the day, in psychology, there's something we call the 3 circles. Circle of control, concern, and influence. Circle of control states you need to focus on things you can control. You can never control people and how they behave or what they think and everything. So in this scenario that you're giving, you can influence, tell them, nimekulink now you know you may influence. But at the end of it all, you can never control their follow-through with that. That is for them and their therapist and their own issues to follow through. Figure out why they didn't follow through with the influence you gave to them. I don't know if that makes sense. So you need to focus more on things you personally can control. The things you can't control, let it be. And then now here, remember what we said. Something is abnormal when it starts interfering with your day-to-day.
Okay.
So now this anger has become too much that is also affecting how you're interacting with this person, especially kama ni biashara. Una realize either you're cutting them off, unaingia job umejam, and things like that. Then that starts becoming a problem. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
So it means you need to focus more on you. I don't know how much time you have, but I would also like you to go through something called the Johari window of awareness.
Okay, let's go through it.
So let me first of all start by giving a disclaimer. Self-awareness is only like 20% or 30% of the work. Okay. You can be self-aware. Umesikia watu wengi wakisema wamekosana na msema wanasema lakini mimi hivyo ndo mimi kuwa. And they're not working towards changing it. They are aware of whatever it is that they're going through, but they're not putting in the work. So 70 or 80% is putting in the work.
I've always said I always give in to my nature. Kuna point yani I tried working, I was like, fuck it, manze, I'm going to submit to my own nature.
But now, as much as you're submitting to your own nature, what are you submitting to? You know?
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. So the Johari window states, let me just walk you through the 4 windows. There's a blind window. There's a unknown, known, blind, and hidden. So the blind window, I'll give you an example. Blind window ni ile ya you do certain things, but people around you see it different.
Okay.
You know? Let me give a good example that maybe a lot of people can relate to. You always take a shot or a glass of wine kila siku after job, but for you, you're taking it to unwind. You know, siku imekuwa hard, or you puff something just to cool off on how hard the day was and everything. But now people around you are realizing, hey, you might be having a drinking problem.
Okay.
Right? So the blind window is to help you identify these things that other people are seeing, not for you to conform and say nyo niko na shida kukunywa, but for you to try and see if it's true. And how do you do that? There's something called self-experiment or self-behavioral experiment. Wajitaka mtukutana unajambia, can I go a whole week without taking a shot, without drinking a glass of wine, without smoking a joint? Can I go a whole week? And if I can't go the whole week without doing this, and I feel like I really need it, or I'm craving it or something, am I ready to seek help? Is that a conversation I'm ready to have? So when you're looking at self-awareness, you start from there. I normally tell people, when you walk, you don't know how you walk until someone comes and tells you, by the way, you walk like a duck, ama una crab walk, and then it hits you, by the way, you get. So that blind window, near, by the way, I need to see where the problem is, right? And then now let's look into the hidden window. The hidden window, these are things that you hide from people. The things that your family know about you, I'm 100% sure, are not the same thing that your friends know about you.
Oh, you're right.
You know?
Yep.
So in the hidden window, it's not for you to go telling people, but they've been hiding this from you. No. It's for you to know why you're hiding these things. We hide them because of different things. Maybe I hide them from my parents because I feel like they raised me better and I'm ashamed of these little things that I'm doing. So the questions needs to start from there. Why am I ashamed of these things that I'm hiding?
Okay.
Should I still keep doing them if I'm still ashamed? Do I need help? You get? So these Johari windows are to start a conversation with yourself to help you understand yourself better. And then now the known windows are things that everyone knows about you. You do podcasts, you do this, you do that, you get. The unknown windows, I normally like putting it into the talent aspect, ability aspect, tapping into your potential. I've always wanted to learn how to cook a certain meal. Can I set time to actually try that? I've been trying to draw. I've been trying to play a certain game. I've been trying to do this and that. Can I be intentional about it and tap into my potential? Because personally, I believe as human beings, we have a huge, untapped potentials. So that is now for those talents. By the time you're done with the whole Johari window, you already know, first, this is what people think. Is it true? Is it not true? Not for you to conform to whatever it is that they're saying, but for you to see it for yourself. You've understood your hidden, you've understood your known, you've understood your unknown. So when it comes to putting in the work, you know where you need to start and where you need to get the help. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. So it's all about asking yourself the basic questions as to why.
Yes.
And let me ask you another thing. kuna time nilikuwa najulizanga why always. Na mpaka and I don't know, the people who are older than me walikuwa nasema acha kujulizia swali why shit.
So
happened.
what were you asking why?
And to be honest, let me tell you even why. Sometimes I just like knowing why the fuck this shit happened. Unaget, hata stai ndio ninajua ime happen. We will solve the problem later. Ama tutadili na damages. But dude, why? You see?
Now, let me bring you back to the 3 circles. Circles of control, concern, and influence. I know most of the time these questions come with grief. When you've lost something. When personally, when I talk about grief, I don't only talk about grief in terms of mtu amededi. I also talk about grief in terms of loss. You've lost a job, you've lost school, in a way that huwezi enda shule anymore, maybe fees or something. You've lost something that was meaningful to you. And a majority of the time, we ask why. And in the process of asking why, you need to pay more attention to your 3 circles. Was this thing in my control? Could I have done something different? If there's nothing different you could have done, or if there's nothing you could have done to change it, then don't even ask another why. Let it be. Focus more on things. We waste so much time. As human beings, I know you've heard this before, as human beings, we are literally wired to focus on the negative.
Okay.
So the more you ask these whys, and it's something that you couldn't control, the more you fall into the rabbit hole. But if you ask why and you realize there's nothing much I could have done about it, it was literally out of my control, then you move to the next circle. Concern, influence. What can I influence? What is in my control? I can influence kidogo and try and impact change or something. You know, Ivo. So those circles, I normally tell people, those 3 circles are the best you can ever do when it comes to mental health. Because there's peace in focusing on the things that you can control.
Matter of fact, book, there's nothing I'm going to ask you here. Nothing I'm going to ask you.